So hello everyone. If you are planning to create your web application with the help of Maven, then be ready to face one of the most common and the worst error of your Java development life, and that is index.jsp error. Now why I'm saying so that it is going to be one of the worst error? Because the reasons are that whenever any error or any exception is going to come in your coding, then what will you do generally? You will just go through the console, you will see what is the reason of that particular exception or error, and then you are going to resolve the same. You will try all your best in order to resolve. But what if that exception or error exists even without coding a single piece of line? Then it becomes very difficult in order to solve such error. And the problem gets worse when you go for the Google and then you try all the solutions and then you find that okay, the solution is working for one version, but the moment you are shifting to another Java version or to some another dependency version, then again you start facing those errors. So in this video, we are going to see how to resolve all such errors. So once again, welcome everyone. I'm Abhishek Verma and you are watching Scale Up India Maven series part 3 video. In this video, we will see how to create a web application using Maven from scratch, and then we'll also see how to resolve that particular error in a step-by-step manner. So that later on, in case if you are going for any other Java version or any other dependency version also, you can resolve the error on your own without looking to the Google again. So let's get started. So here we are with our IDE, and as you can see here we have demo 0 and demo 1. So demo 0 was created without the Maven and it was just a normal Java project. This demo 1 was created with the help of maven-archetype quick start, which we have seen in the previous video. So I hope you have watched the previous video because most of the steps are going to remain same as per that. Now let's go to file again and then go to new, and then here if Maven project works then it's well and good, otherwise you need to go to other. So I'll just go there, and here I won't say skip archetype selection because we need to do the same. Then I'll go to next, and here it has started retrieving the archetypes as you can see here. So I'll go to this particular part and I'll say maven-archetype-webapp, something like this. Now on doing this, you will see that we are getting again 4 options, but we know that we can choose as per the group ID also. So we'll choose the one which is provided by the Apache Maven itself. So we'll choose this third one and we'll just say next. Then since the last time we provided the group ID, so it remembers everything, and then here also it is saying that you can go for the same, or if you wish you can go for another one also. Now we work in Scale Up India, so let's go for it and call it as demo 2. Now I don't want this name in my package, so I'll remove from there. Last time I saw you that what happens when you run the archetype generation interactively, and it asks you for the option yes or no. This time I'll do without this and say finish. And here if I'll just scroll this up, so in the console you see it has started creating the template for us, and here in the demo 2 it is providing us something. So let me just click there again, and here you see that we are getting this particular template for our Maven project. Now in this one we are having the pom.xml, which I always call as the heart of your application. We have the target folder, and currently there is some these web resources and everything in our target folder because it's a web application. Later on also more things will come when we are going to code our stuff. So the target is there. Then we have this src folder. This time in src we have main. So last time you saw that by default we were getting src main java and src test java folders. So this time it is src main, and then we are getting the web app folder. Within the web app we are having web-inf, we are having a sample index.jsp page which is just a hello world, and then here we have a web.xml which is your deployment descriptor. So all these things we are getting. We are not getting those sample src main java, src test java, but you know that if you wish we can create them on our own, and we will be doing that later on also. Then here you can see there is something like deployed resources. Within this also you can just see this web app and these web resources. So it is just the same thing which you can see here. Then we have the Java resources under which we have libraries, and currently it is pointing to 1.7 version. And in the Maven we are just getting the default JUnit and Hamcrest core. So those things are also there. And then here we have again something like deployment descriptor. So this is going to look something like this, but the moment you double click, it will open your web.xml also. So before proceeding, I will just like to tell that it may happen that when you create the same thing, then this deployment descriptor and Java resources may not appear. And these libraries directly appear outside your Java resources, and that's also fine. I mean, it just depends sometimes on your Eclipse versions and some other things of the environment. You don't need to worry for that. The main important components you should have are the web.xml, index.jsp, and pom.xml. So these are the minimum 3 main components you should have. After this, you can proceed. So this is just a web.xml. We'll come to this again later. And here you see, as I told you, index.jsp, the worst error for the Maven projects. And the error says that there is some default superclass, which is javax.servlet.HttpServlet. And according to the project dynamic web module, the feature version 2.3 is not available on the Java build path. So Java build path, we know that we can just check here. So I'll just go there and say build path. So here we don't see anything for that particular javax.servlet. So hence it is saying the error. So one thing is for sure that we need to add the dependency here for that. But from where is it getting the version as 2.3? So that is coming because in a web.xml it is mentioned here as 2.3. So from there it is getting. Now the next step in order to solve this particular error is that we will go to a pom.xml, and here we will see the things. So the number one thing which we are going to do here is that we'll remove this extra part because we don't need this, and last time also we removed. Another interesting thing which you see is that now the packaging is going to be a war file, not a jar file, because the moment your projects are having these extra files like JSP, HTML and all those, so for the web application we generally create a war file, not a jar file. Rest of the things, that is also a zip folder only, but it contains all these extra things also. And then the Java version. So again it is your choice that whichever version you wish to go. For me as of now 17 is fine, so I'll go for it. And again this is the part where you can change on your own. So feel free to change the things, but again later on the things are going to change, modified as per your Java version also. So just remember that. So I have done 17. I don't need this default dependency. I'll remove this. Later on we'll add on our own. And these are just the sample default plugins which we are having. So I'll just say save. I won't explain all those things again because in the previous demo we have covered. And here also I don't like this name as Maven web app. I just want demo 2. It's my wish. Now here let's see whether it is updated or not. So it is still 1.7. So let me just go here and say Maven update project. I'll just select only this one. We'll say force update and say OK. So here you see that it has updated it as 17. So that's good. But the error still exists. Now, before we resolve the error for this particular servlet, let's try to see why do we even need this servlet here. For this, I'll just show you a single slide. Rest everything is coding here in this. So now in front of you, we have a sample demo class. And as you can see here, we are just having a main method containing a simple sysout. Instead of hello world, we are saying subscribe scale up India, because I still feel that you have not subscribed the channel even after you find the video interesting. So please do that. So this is just a sample code. You can say hello world also. Now, like this we have in a normal application. So same way in your Java web application, we are going to have a class which is going to extend HttpServlet. Now, why do we need to extend this servlet? Because servlet is a Java program which is going to extend the functionalities of a web server, so that you can interact with the help of your web browser. It can receive the request and in return it can provide you the response also. So hence we need to extend HttpServlet. This is one of the basic class which we need to extend here, and then we need to override the methods. So similarly, there are different methods. We have a get method, we have post method, and other methods also. As of now, I'll just go for the simplest one, do get. And don't worry that how I got about all this, because I have just overridden the method. Since it was consuming space, so I have not added here @override annotation. Otherwise, I'm just overriding. And I'll show you in the code how to do the same. So what we are saying here is that we will be returning the type as an HTML page, and here in that we will be saying that there will be this h1 tag. So as you know that in HTML we have this heading tag, and there also we are just saying scale up India. So it is just a way of doing this sysout, but with the help of your web application. So this is the similarity. Now instead of your main method, you will be having this HTTP servlet, and one code can have one or multiple servlets. But as of now, we are just going to have a basic code, so we can just need only one HTTP servlet. So that's fine here. Now, in order to run your demo application, you need a Java virtual machine, because you know it is going to provide you the runtime environment in order to run your code. So same way, in order to run your this servlet, demo servlet, we need a servlet container. Now this servlet container is again going to provide you a runtime environment, and this servlet container will be provided by a specific web server. So that can be Apache Tomcat, that can be Getty, that can be any other Glassfish also, or it can be anything. But the most common one and the easily available is Apache Tomcat, so we will be using that. So that's a kind of relationship. Instead of a normal class with the main method, we need a class which is extending servlet, and then we can have your getter and post methods. Then instead of JVM, we need this time a servlet container. So that is the reason we need the servlet dependency. So it's going to be that simple. So now let's go back to our IDE and see how to resolve the error. So we are back here in our IDE, and here still you see the error exists because of this. Now what we will do is we need to find this javax.servlet HttpServlet. So let's go and try to add the dependency, and for this you know we need to go to maven repository. So let's go there, and yeah, so here you can see that before we proceed, so now we are having 451 subscribers. So in the previous video I told you that before I release this video we should be having minimum 450. So we have crossed our goal, and this is all because of you. So for the next one, the goal is something like 470, or we can say 475. Yeah, so that can be done, and this is our overall progress. So you see we are increasing, but we still need more support. We need more zeros after this. So now let's move ahead, and here let's search for maven repository, something like this, or I have already bookmarked it. So there also you can go. So on searching for this, we will get something like this, and let's search for javax-servlet. So this is the one, javax-servlet API. So let's search for this, or you can just simply say javax-servlet. Even if you won't mention API, the first option it will show for this java-servlet API only. So let's go there. Now you can see that its last version was released in 2018, and that was 4.0.1. Now if you are working with any older version of Java, then you can go for this. I'll show you later on in this video itself that how to decide that which Java version you need, which servlet version. But as of now we are using one of the latest JDK versions. So let's go for this one. So here also it is saying that post this version, new things have been moved to Jakarta-servlet. So now they are not going to call it as javax-servlet, but Jakarta-servlet. Things are same. So only there is some name change and some extra other things also on the functionality side. So here the latest version is in 2022, and that is 6.0.0. So let's go for it. And here, as you can see, we are getting this particular dependency. So let's copy the same and go back to our IDE. So we'll go here, and here I will be saying, I will be just adding it like this and say Control Shift F, Control Shift O, which we don't need basically. And here I'll just say save. So now let me just see if it is coming. Yeah, so this is coming here, Jakarta-servlet API 6.0.0. So this is good, but the error still exists, and it is the same error. Now, where can we see that this faceit version is 2.3? So one place where we can see is the web.xml, because it is mentioned here. Another place is that if you just right click and say properties, and then you go to this project facets. So not this one, but yeah, if you go to this project facets, there also you can see it's saying dynamic web module 2.3. Now one option is you can directly change here, but it is not going to work, because the reason is this depends as per your deployment descriptor, that is web.xml. So first we need to change here. So can we just simply say 0 here? Can we just say 6 here? The answer is no. It is not going to be that easy, and this is not going to even work. I mean, this is not that logical. So let's not do this and try to have a better solution for this. So post this, we'll again go back here, and here we'll search for rest of the things. So we will say that we need a web.xml for 6.0, something like this. We need a web.xml. Now when we say this, so you can see so many options are there. We are getting from IBM, Oracle, Apache Tomcat, and so many others. But we just now downloaded the Jakarta-servlet 6.0. So let's go to its website only. I mean, if you will search for something else, maybe this website may appear on the top. But in short, you need to go to this website only, that is Jakarta-servlet. And this is for all the versions. So let's say that you are watching the video after 1 or 2 years, and then the version exists is something like 7.0. Then also you just need to do the same, web.xml for 7.0, and search for Jakarta-servlet. Then you just go here, and from this you move to the documentation. And don't worry, we are not going to read all the things. Now that's interesting, like if you wish, you can read, and for the more details of servlet container, you can just read out from here. I have just explained you in the short that what it means. It is just a technology based web component for managing the containers and the dynamic content, but more details you can just check out here. So what we will do is we'll go down and we'll go to its point number 14, because we need the web.xml. I mean, one way is you keep on searching in the whole page for web.xml, but I know where we need to go, and that is deployment descriptor. So we need to go here. Then here also they say all the things about this for your deployment descriptor elements, and each and everything has been explained, like what is the meaning of which particular line, but we won't go for it, and we'll just go for this basic example. So in the basic example, they have this big XML. Now if you wish, you can copy the whole XML and paste there in your web.xml, but we don't need whole. We just need the starting part, the XML version and the web app. So we'll copy this, we'll come back here, and this web app tag was there, so we'll use this also and paste it like this. Display name, let it be their web app. This is just the closing tag, and we'll just save this. Now in the spec version, so this should be the same as your servlet version. So this should be 6.0. More further you don't need for .0. Even if it is 6.0.1 later on, then also this will work. So you just need to say 6.0. But here it says it is spec version underscore, and then it is something XSD also. So for this, the solution is that you should not directly replace it by 6.0, because it is some underscore version. So we'll again go back here, one line up, and here we see the deployment descriptor for this version is available at this location. So you can open the location also, and this is that XSD. So we need to copy this URL and we need to paste it here in this XSD part. So do it very carefully. Only this particular line we need to replace like this, and then we just need to say Control Shift F and Windows L, that is to save the file. Now on doing this particular thing, if we see, let's see the error is there or not. So now the error changed. Now it's saying the okay, now again that error came back, so it says 2.3 and something. But here we have changed now to 6.0. Now it is not referring 2.3. Let's see, did it change in properties or not? So we'll go to project fee sets. It is still 2.3. So what I'll do is I'll just update the project here. So I'll go to this particular as Maven, say update project, and a force update here, guys. So I will be doing this, and now let's try this again. And in properties, you see it is now 6.0. So this has got changed. Now again, if we see, the error still exists, something here. So the same error is still there. I mean, it didn't got refreshed. It happens sometimes. So one option is you can just try to click on this refresh, and if it gets updated, then it's well and good. Otherwise, there is one more step needs to be done. Now it may happen that for you, just after this step, the issue gets resolved. Yeah, but it may happen, like in my case, it's not getting resolved. So for such of the scenarios, I mean, the point is, as of now, how can we decide whether it is running fine or not? I mean, I can't run it as a Java web app, simple thing that is a simple Java application. That is not possible because main method doesn't exist. So the another option is that I need to run this on a server. But the point is, where is the server? And how can I decide whether this is just a dummy fake error now, or will it work or not? So for this, I need a server. So for this, we need to go to this window. And now what I'm doing, this is just a one-time step for your whole workspace. You don't need to do it again and again. Then we'll go to the show view, and here we will search for the server, something like this. So these are your servers. We'll say open, and here let's wait for it to come. Yeah, so the view is coming here for the server, and it says that currently no servers are available and we need to create a new server. So we'll just click here, and then it shows me the options. So all the options. So our application is going to provide the servlet, but that needs to run in a servlet container, which will be provided by these servers. So that's the relationship. So we'll go to this common one, that is Apache, but then also so many things are there. Which one to go for? So there is again a solution, and instead of going for the latest one, because this choice also matters. It may happen that your Java version is different, your JSP, that particular web.xml thing is different, and then this also you need to decide as per that only. Now for this, let's go back to our Chrome and see how we can solve that issue. So here I'll just search for Apache Tomcat, something like this. I'll search, and I'll go to the very first website of Tomcat. So here you can read everything about this, that it is an open source implementation for your Jakarta-servlet and all these things. But I'm more interested as of now in this, that which version shall we go for. So here is the whole table using which you can decide which Java version you should go for. All those are mentioned here. Which XML version you should go for. I mean, I'll go use the term as XML version, or you can say servlet version. And which Tomcat you should go for. So currently we are using 17, which can come anything here. But here we went for 6.0 because it says 6.0 will work only for 11 and later. So let's say your machine is having 8, your project is having Java 8, but then you went for the latest Jakarta version 6.0. It is not going to work. Then 5.0 will work. So accordingly we need to decide. So we have chosen 6.0, and this is for 11 and later, and this one is for 21 and later. So for us, this is one of the most suitable choice, and this says we need to go for 10.1 point something, and the latest they say is 10.1.13, but we are happy with this 10.1 point something. So let's see for this. So now since we are clear, let's go for this as 10.1 server. Let's click on next, and here we need to choose the installation directory. So in case if you have already downloaded, I mean this is just a one-time step. So if you have already downloaded, then you just need to choose the path of your Tomcat. And in case if it is not there, so you can click on download and install and say I accept. So I'll click on finish, and I'll choose the place. So it is jars folder only. So I'll just say select folder, and here it shows me some error. it says that currently it doesn't exist, because if you see here, it is trying to download the same thing. So let me just cancel it once and show you that it is downloading. So I'll go to this progress view, and here you see that it is downloading the things for us. So I'll resume the video once the download gets completed, and I'll show you how it exists, and again we'll open that particular. So now it doesn't shows me anything in my progress bar, which seems that it is completed. Let's go and check in the jars. So here, as you can see, we have this Apache Tomcat 10.1.8, and this contain all these folders, bin, lib, and everything. So just ensure that for you also this downloading worked fine. I mean, you can try this again and again if this doesn't work. Sometimes it happens that you try to download, but still there are some issues. So this is a one-time step. Now let's go back, and we need to give this path there now. So we'll again go to this servers tab, and we'll again select, because last time we didn't finalize this step. We'll choose Apache, we'll just say 10.1. Now we'll again say next, and this time I guess it automatically chose, or if you are not sure how to do that, so you can just select this and you can say configure runtime environment, then it will show you the option. So it automatically chose, because last time also we gave that particular path only. So this is the way. So let's cross this and say next, and here this is demo 2. So as of now, just select this and say add. So we need to add this demo here. We'll say finish, and on finishing this, so now here you can see that we are having our 10.1 server, and demo 2 also exists there. So let's go on this one and say run as run on server, but that error is still there. So we'll again choose this and we'll say, and this demo 2, so we'll just say finish, and now let's see what happens. So it has opened the page, and here it says me hello world, and this is because of my code, because here also it says demo 2. The name of your project is coming up here. So yeah, that means our code is working fine. So although still it is showing the error, but the code is working fine, and this may happen sometimes. So we can try doing this once as update project again, and let's see if this error gets resolved or not, and this refresh. So now also it is not solving, but the point is our code is running. So this may happen sometimes for you, but at the end, what do we need? We need a working code. To our client, we just need to give a war file. So it doesn't matter, even still it shows you this red cross symbol, because now the error really doesn't exist. It is just maybe in some cache or because of those errors. Here if we see, so here also it still says the same, but the point is now this is no more an error. Our code is working fine. And in order to give a more better idea that how this is going to look like in actual, let's add our whole Pakistan code in this particular part. So I'll just close all these, and also an important point is that how you should close your servers. So whenever you are running your server, ensure this that before running the thing again, you terminate the operation, which is a good practice. Otherwise, sometimes you may see the error that the port is already in the usage. So those kinds of errors can come. So we should avoid them. So for this, the only option is that we need to go here and terminate in the console section. Now for the next part, what I'll do is I'll quickly copy the things from my previous projects and then come back again. So we are back, guys, and here as you can see, under the src, what I have done basically is that in the main, I am just saying new folder, and I have added folders like Java, resources, even test Java, and all those I have added here. Then if you wish, you can just open them up like this, which is not a good practice. For that, you should use only for your web app, but you should go here in the Java resources, and here you can see under src main Java we have all our packages. Under resources we have our files. Under src test Java we have a single package, and under src test resources we don't have anything because we don't need so. And now the point is that we need to add the dependencies also. So I'll again go back to this demo 1 pom.xml, and I'll try to copy these dependencies from here only. I mean, that's an easy option for me. So if you wish, I mean, if you don't have those, so you can go to Maven repository also, and then search for the JUnit Jupyter and MySQL connector J. So that's a good option for me as of now, so I'm just going for it. So I guess now everything is ready there, and now we don't see any compilation error, so everything looks great. But and the interesting thing, if you see here, is that now that error also got removed. So as I was saying you earlier, that this is just a point of time, like whether the error is there or not. So I just told you that the application is working because hello world is coming here. But we saw that earlier we were still having that red cross on the index.jsp, and after we just added some of the things, I mean sometimes it takes time to refresh. So that's the only point. The main point is always it should be a running code. So now it is running. So now we don't have even that index.jsp error also. But how can we start the project now? Because if I will start, it will just show me that hello world. And what I need is I need to open up all these things. I mean, I need to refer to this particular class. But as you know that in a web application, we don't need a main method. So we don't need a main method like this, but we need to create it as a servlet class. So for this, let me just try to modify this only. And the better way is you call this as demo servlet. I mean, that will be a better name also. But as of now, let's start and say extends, and then we will try to go for this HTTP servlet, this one from Jakarta-servlet. If you are using older version, it will be javax.servlet. So we'll go there, and after this, let this owner service be there as it is. Now what we will do is we'll just make a click here, and then we will go to this source, and there we'll say override implement methods. So this way. So here it will show you all the methods which you can override. So we have method like delete, get, then we have post, put, and other methods also. I'll go for the easiest one is get. So I'll just select, say OK, and now I'll just say Control Shift F. So you see we are having the same method which I shown you in my presentation also. So we are having this. Now what I will do is that I'll copy this line here. So we need this one. So I'll copy this logic from here, Control C, and I'll keep it here as of now. So as of now, that is the simplest thing. I don't need this mean and these methods, so I'll remove this part. So now this is your class, but that's not it. So we still need to add few more things. Now what we saw is that we need to add something in the response. I don't like this name, so let me call it as request, and let me call it as response. I mean, these are the better name, guys. So here we'll say something like response and this, and we'll try to set the content type. So we'll say this content and this is type. So this content type needs to be text/html for us. You don't need to go for the details of it. I mean, as of now, this much is enough. And then post this. So post this, what do we need? So here we are saying sysout. Now this sysout is not going to work for us. So instead of this sysout, we will say response dot get, and let's see if we have something like, yeah, we have this as get writer. Then after get writer, let's see, do we have something like print or println? So here we see we have something like println, or let's try to, I mean, there are so many methods. So I just need to go for this as the simplest one. So this is println. But within this, we should not directly say it like this. Otherwise it will come simply. So we'll try to enhance it a bit. We will say h1 tag like this, then closing h1 tag like this, and within this we will call it as welcome to Pakistan. So let me copy this line and paste it here. Now we don't even need this, so this is also gone. Find on the owners, let it be there. Again this part, there are this and all these things. So let's try to copy this and paste it here, and yeah, this should work. But I also need this h1 tag. This is your choice, if you need this h1 tag or you just want to show it simply. So this is the one. And as of now, let's not print the list. So just print the size of the owners. So let's try to do this as minimum. So now if everything goes fine, so this is going to be the way. If there is any exception, then exception will get printed. For that too, let's do it in this way, that we'll write here something like this, and here also in the end, let's call it like this as the h1 tag. So this is also done. So now it seems ready. So all the sysout println we have replaced with the response.getWriter println, and on the top we are saying the set content type is text HTML. So this is also has been mentioned here. It shows some warning, but you don't need to worry about this. Let it be there, or if you wish you can just add a default serial version ID. So that's also a good practice. And I was saying, if you wish you can rename it as demo servlet, because it is extending a servlet, so that is also better. Otherwise it's fine. Here it shows some error, but you know, you don't need to worry. It is just maybe in some cache, or it will get resolved automatically. I mean, the main error got resolved, so this will also get resolved there automatically. So now what? So now we are ready with everything here. Our application looks good, but the problem is how the control will directly come to this demo here. I mean, we know that whenever we are going to run the application, it will just say hello world. So how to redirect it here? That's the question here. So for this, there are basically two options. One option is that we go to this web.xml, and here we provide the path to the servlet. So that is one option. But for this, again, whenever you are working with web.xml, there are chances of doing the mistake. So instead of it, let's try to use the another way, and that is the annotation way. So we'll go here and add the annotation @web, and here let's say web servlet, something like this. Now within the web servlet, we'll say these brackets, and here we'll give a particular path. So we can call it anything. If you wish, you can call it demo itself, or if you wish, you can call it something else also. So let's call it as owners, because whenever I will click on this, it will provide me the details of owners. So let me just call it like this. Now I'll go back to the index.jsp, and here I need to provide the link. So for this, we need to have something like a href. So if you are good in HTML, then it's well and good. Otherwise, if you are like me, then you just need to search a bit and try the things. So here we'll say list all owners, and here we'll just need to give the path as owners. So that's it. And now let's try to rerun the things. So we'll go here, we'll say run as, run on server. Again select, don't forget to select. If you won't select and directly click on next, so it won't show you anything. So first select, then say next, it is there. So we'll just say finish, and I guess I didn't closed the server last time, so I'll just say restart the server. And now if I just open this, so let's see, it is not opening. So what happened? I mean, everything went away. I guess I made a mistake somewhere, that's why it's not working. So okay, it says some issue has encountered, and this may happen sometimes, that it says failed to start and something and so on. But we know we haven't made any big issue as such, so let's try it again. So what we will do is, so it says invalid URL pattern, so in the servlet mapping, and okay, there is some mistake like this, that here it says the URL pattern is not valid here. So let's try to identify the mistake, and I found that our mistake is that here, I mean, somewhere in the URL it should be /owners. So we are not writing slash here, but where it should come. So we need to write this slash here as the practices. So we need to say it like this, /owners, so that it becomes a path. Now let's try to rerun this again. So we'll just say run as, run on server. I'm just showing you, and let's see, if I don't select and say next, so nothing will appear. So you need to select this first. So I'm just showing you almost all the different kinds of errors and exceptions, all the silly mistakes which may happen when you are trying to run this for the first time. So now you see that initially it was just hello world. Then we added our things, but we forgot to add a slash, so it came like this. And now everything is working. So here it says list all owners, but we can't say it is working till the point I click on this link and we see the number of owners. So let's do the needful. So I'll click, and here we say welcome to Pakistan, and it is saying exception.getMessage. So that is a little silly. So here it is directly going for this. So one point is there that it is working. So that's the best part, that at least it is working, things are working. It is pointing to slash owners. Now why it is saying exception.getMessage? Because while I was coding the things out here in this part, this exception also I directly wrote within the h1 like this. Now I should not be doing it, and instead the message should be printing as it is. So let me change this a bit so that we can know what is our mistake. So let me try it like this. So now whatever the exception is there, that will come at least. So let's see the things. So let's close the previous one and let's try the things again. So run on server, again a try, and say finish, and something like this. Okay, again it says, so now it says unknown database Pakistan. Okay, so now I have checked out the mistake, and the issue was that Pakistan got deleted. So now I have again created that, and let's rerun the code and try one more time. I mean, that is the life of the developer, step by step announcing. So now let's try. Okay, that's great. So this time we are seeing that there are 72 owners. So now finally we can say that our application is working, and step by step we resolved so many errors. So just give me a more second and I'll enhance the things. So let me enhance the JSP page as well as the main servlet class so that we can see how it looks like in more better way. So what I have done now is that I have renamed the class as owner servlet and added some of the styling here. Same way in my JSP also I have added some kind of styling. And now one more small thing which is left is that here in this particular part of the web.xml, so here also if you wish you can change the name. So there also let me call it as Pakistan. I mean, that's a more better name. So here also let me call it as Pakistan. So this is also done, and now let me just rerun the code. So let me say run on server again. Let's say next, I did a mistake. Let's say next, let's say finish, and now let's see what happens. So you see on the top we are getting this as Pakistan. That's good. Here it is saying demo 2. Here it says Pakistan by Scale Up India. It's looking something like this. And here if I say list all owners, so all these 72 owners are coming up here. So this is just basic styling which I have added out here. This you can try on your own. I mean, our main purpose got resolved, but still around a little bit part is more left here, that we haven't executed any maven command. So in the maven video, no maven command, that's strange. So let's do that too finally. And for this what we will do is we'll go to our pom.xml. So we will go here, and here what I want is that I don't want my final name to be as demo 2. So here also let it me call as Pakistan, something like this, so that it appears fine. So this is also done here. And now let me go here, let me say run as, and what I'll do is I'll go to this maven build with 3 dots. So I'll just do a very simple one. I'll just create a war file. Rest of the commands you can just try on your own. So I'll try this one, and let's see will it work or not. So here it is executing test cases, and it says the war file has been created. And since we have renamed the things here in the final name as Pakistan, so war file is with Pakistan. Otherwise, you know, it will give the name as demo2. Let me refresh this a bit, and here let me see in the target folder. So we can see this Pakistan war is coming up here in this part. Let me close the console. So we don't need that one as of now. So Pakistan war is coming. Now what? So now we know how to run the application also. and we know how to create the war application war file also. But the thing is, every time do you think so that you will keep on running in this Eclipse server only? The answer is no. The Tomcat server which is provided by Eclipse, every time we are not going to run there. We may want to run it outside also. So let's see how to do that. So for this, we'll copy this one, the war file, and we will head towards the Tomcat again, the outside our Eclipse. So for that, we will go here and we'll go to this Apache Tomcat, the one we just installed. So we'll go there, and in this one, we'll go to this web apps folder, and here we will add our war file. So this war file I have added it here. Now I'll go back and I'll try to go to the bin folder first, and here I will see if I'm having something like startup.bat. So this startup.bat file exists, so there I'll go, and what I'll do is I'll just double click on this and ensure that you have closed your server in the Eclipse by then. Otherwise it is going to show you the error here, because at a time on single port, single thing can work. So here what it says is that it has deployed all these things. So Apache Tomcat library and everything I guess has been deployed by now. So now let's go back again here, and in the new window let's try to say localhost again here. So we will just say localhost demo2. But on demo2 it says nothing found. That's strange. Earlier it was working. I mean, it was working there. Yeah. So let's try as localhost 8080. What comes up? So if I say localhost 8080, Apache Tomcat is there, which means our Apache Tomcat is running, but our application is not there. The reason is because now your application is having the name of Pakistan. So in the web apps, if you see the name is Pakistan, so with that name it is going to appear. So we'll just say slash and we'll say Pakistan like this. And now if I click, so we will again see this thing. So now this is the one. If I say list all owners, so everything is coming. So you see our URL also got renamed. So by default it was using the name of the project demo2, but if you rename your war file, it will rename everything also here. So that's the beauty of it. So now you see that step by step we have covered everything in this thing, starting from how to create the project, then how to resolve the error. We also saw that when we ran it for the first time, at that time also the error didn't got resolved. It got resolved after a few seconds, maybe because of some cache. For you, the moment you will just do all those steps of creating the server, changing your web.xml and the dependency, it may get resolved, and that's the good luck. And then you just need to try out some of the extra things. So this way we have created it, and post this we will be creating one more video for how to run the things from your Maven outside the Eclipse. So till now we don't have the Maven in our machine. So in the next video I'll show you how to install the Maven outside your Eclipse and how to create the project and run the project using that. Rest of the things we have covered, and by then your target is to increase this number to at least 470 or 475. So do let me know in the comment section if you like the video or not, if you find anything was missing or not, or whatever you wish. You can comment, but at least comment. So thanks everyone.